technology store. Oh yeah, and then watch them chop up the flare. Movie and TV show reviews that you need. Film threads on fire, we're planting the seeds. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round. 1, 2, 3. From blockbusters to indie gold. Oh yeah, Chris and Alan break the mold. Pop your corn, turn down the lights. Get ready to groove through movie nights. Film thread, we keep it real. Dive into the stories, you know the deal. Turn the phone, it's the place to be. Movie lovers gather round.
You sure you have some nice entertainment here? It would be a shame if someone took it away from you. Just saying.
Laughs, chills, and deep debates. Chris and Alan, let's celebrate.
Hey everyone, happy Friday. I'm Chris Gore. This is Film Thread, and I am only one coffee in. I'm so tired right now. I was out late seeing The Monkey, which we will talk about on the show. Plus, Daisy Ridley is back on the big screen in Cleaner. It's Die Hard on the outside of a building. That's right. Plus other movies, Unbreakable Boy, and an interview today with the documentary filmmakers behind Food for Thought. We'll talk to them on the show. And Alan Ng is here, plus your chat comments and questions. So let's start the show. I'm ready, but I'm actually not really ready, to be honest. I'm not ready. He is here. I did see him earlier, so I have to find him.
I'm really busy at the moment with Dr. Doom, but I'll say it, Alan.
Hey man.
I'm tired like you as well.
I went to an event last night for the VOD release of A Complete Unknown. Timothy Chalamet. It was a fun event, and I saw the 10:40 p.m. show of The Monkey, which because of AMC, the movie didn't start until 11. I'll tell you all about it. I was tired, but I love that AMC popcorn. I'm not gonna lie. It's hard to see a movie there and not have popcorn because the smell, it's so, I love it. So
how was that event that I wasn't invited to?
Oh, it was great that you weren't invited to. It was great.
It's awesome. Hope you and Tyler had a great time.
No, I did not take Tyler.
Okay.
I took someone.
No.
Hey, what so why were you out late then?
Because I was seeing Unbreakable Boy, and I was trying to see Miller in Marriage, but the screener expired yesterday morning.
Well, what you do is you email them and they refresh it.
Yes, and then they say, "Yeah, we'll refresh it tomorrow morning." And so
that's why you have to do things earlier and plan. This is what I do during the week.
Well, I
plan. I put the show. I put a lot of effort into. You see our planning documents. Yeah.
No, I misread 8 a.m. for 8 p.m. and that was my problem.
Is that because of your dyslexia, which makes you the perfect person to read all the super chats?
Well, no, part of it is if it says 8
but you're at least you're a good rapper.
Hold on.
Hey, we have a lot to get to, so let's go. Hail chat from Sons and Shadows. Anonymous. I enjoyed the Gorge much better than I thought it would be. Yeah, it's look. I first of all, Scott Derrickson on the visuals did great. It is kind of has all the problems of a streaming movie, which everything's the narrative is sort of spoken aloud, so you're never confused. It's predictable, but I like Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy is hot. It was, it was fun. Daniel T, yay, happy Friday. The nerd far away. None of us are ready, Chris, but here comes life smacking me in the face anyway. And Lord Thaw says what, Alan?
Like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, sign up as a member, join us on X, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram. And buy our merch at shop.filmthreat.com.
That's right. Oscar merch is up only for another 10 days as we hurtle toward the Oscars. In fact, something very exciting happened. Alan joined the Gate Crashers.
Yes. I don't know if I have a page or not.
I do know you have a page.
Oh, okay. Last time I checked
You have a page. So here it is. I'll share here. You have a page and Dante has a page. Here it is. The Gate Crashers is a group of kind of outsider critics that give their predictions for the Oscars. And we will use this. These are all of collectively what people have said and what it's leaning towards. So you see your best picture, Honora, best director, Honora, Adrian Brody, actor. It's highlighted in red because that got the most votes from the Gate Crashers, which include people like, let's see, the film B. I'm on there.
Look, there you are.
There you go. Michael Gray. Here we go. Bill McCuddy. That's Scott Menzel. This Jeff Snyder, the In Snyder, our friend Christian Toto.
Yeah.
There's Sasha Stone, who we know, friend of the show. Jeffrey Wells, who I've known for decades, since the 90s. And who's down here at the very bottom, coming in hot, our own Dante James and Alan Ng. What are your predictions? I'm going to your page here.
Yeah.
I have to share.
Well, I'm trying to beat you this year in terms of predictions.
Well, now it's written in stone.
Yeah, now it's written in
stone. So here we are, Alan Ng's predictions. Let's see. I'm gonna pull back here a little bit. Here we have, there's your little bio. That's an old, I like your other photo better. I like the other one better.
That's the one I've been
the
using.
One where you're goofy. What is this serious look? I don't like it.
This is me trying to get jobs.
Job? You have a job.
Well,
you have a job.
I didn't have one when I took the photo. Let's put it that way.
Well, it did not help you get this job.
No.
But your predictions are here for Best Picture, Honora, Sean Baker, director. Anyways, we can put the link in the description for Gate Crashers.
I'm playing it super safe with these predictions.
I don't even think. Okay, I'm going to be honest. When you vote for the Oscars, here's the choice. What do you think is actually going to win?
Mm.
What do you think is going to win? Is not my choice of what I want to win. What am I passionate about? What movie do I love and say this should win? And then they're like, well, because of politics, whatever, something else ends up winning.
Yeah,
anyway.
I mean, Critics' Choice is basically this is what I want to win because that's why I'm part of Critics' Choice.
Right.
But this one is, what do you think will win? Who do you think will come out in the end?
And
I'm pretty sure Emilia Perez was on top of that list until recently.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to lose big time. Might win one award, Zoe Saldana.
Yeah, I think Zoe, yeah.
Other than that, I think it gets nothing. You get nothing. Thinking of Willy Wonka there.
Yeah. There are better performances than Zoe Saldana in that movie.
Exactly. So we have a lot of movies to review today. So we're going to go fast and furious with this stuff. But Andrew Cram gifted 1 Film Threat membership. By the way, this is a reminder, our Oscar show is the day of the Oscars. We start 1 hour early, I believe at 4 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday, March, is it March 2nd? March 2nd, we're doing our live Oscar watch party with Alan and I, Dante James, Gary from Nerdrotic, Az from Heel versus Babyface, Kira Lynn will be there, maybe X-Ray Girl. It's going to be
You said X-Ray Girl was going to be there.
Yes, a full house, everyone dressed formal. It will be fun. So join us for our Oscar watch party. They're always a blast. And
this is important, though. Did you actually invite Gary to be part of that?
I did. He's talking. He got a tuxedo. I corresponded with Mrs. Nerdrotic about tuxes. He is wearing a tux. Gary will be there. Az is going to be there. It's like an annual thing. So we appreciate their support. And we will be doing giveaways. If you're a member of the channel, we're doing giveaways through the entire thing, giving away digital codes for a movie. And there you go. So it'll be during the event. So check the community tab for members only. And thank you for being a member of the channel. All right. We have a lot of news stories. So let's get to them. Here we go. Starting with the first one. Just a quick reminder. The 40th anniversary of Purple Rain is coming to theaters in a one night only event. That's right. I love these things. I saw Purple Rain on the big screen when I was a kid. It was an amazing experience. 1999, that song was part of my high school, and coming out one night only.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Not only that, it's in the Dolby theaters at AMC's.
Yeah, so the Dolby Theater, I don't know if tickets are on sale yet.
They are. I got mine last week.
Oh,
my tickets.
I did not know that. Okay.
No.
So just letting you know, I mean, this movie, I mean, I remember seeing it. It was cheesy. I mean, it's a lot of it is kind of cheesy.
Although Apollonia.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but it's the sort of sexiness of it, the music, every song is a banger, and I can't wait. So just a little reminder for folks. There you go. And also they're doing the ads on this. So what can I say? Yeah, just a friendly reminder. Also, another reminder. We are sponsors, Film Threat, of the Credo Film Festival, Credo 23 Film Festival, which is March 28th through the 30th. Go to credo23filmfest.com. Alan and I will be there. It's a 3-day weekend of screening movies that do not utilize AI. Justine Bateman will be there involved in the event. And we have a little teaser of what you may see. Did you see the Film Threat logo in that?
Yes, that was us.
That's us. That's us. We are an official sponsor of the event. We're just there to participate and support because we love what Justine Bateman has been doing. She's very outspoken on social media. We need her voice and we need to support this film festival. So it's open to the public. Anyone can go. I mean, I'll be there. Yeah. Alan, will you be there?
I'll be there. It's in Hollywood, right?
Yeah, it's in Hollywood at the American Legion Hall.
I don't know where that is, but
it's right on Highland. It's very close.
Okay, near the church.
It's like a church thing. It's
okay.
Nice.
And then speaking of sponsorship, Andrew Cram comes in with another 10 Film Threat memberships.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Andrew is a big supporter of the channel.
Yes.
Some more rapid fire news stories here. I don't have this link, Alan, if you would. Olivia Munn. She's a former coworker of mine at G4 TV, rejects a 7-figure NDA.
Yeah.
I don't know the details of this. Alan, if you would share this story, if only because, wait, stop for a minute.
Yeah.
If only so we can see a picture of Olivia Munn.
I know. There we go.
And it's weird. Like, I mean, I worked with her for 5 years when she was at the network. I always kind of consider women I work with like, they may as well be my sister. There's no, you know what I mean? I can't be, but I have to admit, she's very beautiful. She's a very beautiful woman.
Yeah.
Tell us what's the story behind this from a Hollywood Reporter.
All right. So Olivia Munn says she once refused at least $1 million to agree to stay silent over a traumatic incident that took place on a movie set. The new girl and newsroom actress was talking to Monica Lewinsky for the week's episode of her podcast, Reclaiming, where she recalled the experience. While Munn didn't detail the incident or name the film, she said it took place around the beginning of the Me Too era. which got underway in 2017. There were things that happened on the movie set, personally to me, that were really not okay, and it was so traumatic that I had to file complaints with the studio, Munn said. It got to a place where I was offered a lot of money, 7 figures to accept their apology, but it came with an NDA, non-disclosure agreement. Not that I would ever talk about it, truly, but I wanted to move past it all, she continued. And that's why I don't want to talk about the specific things that happened in that situation. But I said, I'm not signing an NDA. They said, you have to. And I felt that it was so wrong. It was the beginning of the Me Too era and Time's Up, when people were targeting anyone who signed an NDA saying, oh, you only did it for the money. So I was afraid, right, that by signing the NDA, reverse any kind of validity to what happened. I was concerned that the studio, in an effort to diminish my voice, would leak that I signed an NDA for money.
Well, look, I have been in that position before. There was a job I had where I was offered an NDA, but I couldn't talk about the thing. And guess what? I didn't sign it. I didn't take the money and didn't sign it, because not that I would talk about it, but I didn't want to be prevented from that or be under any legal obligation to not discuss it. So I did not sign the NDA. I respect her for doing that. And I will always be, I admire Olivia Munn. You can criticize her jokes. She made jokes about people being fat. She wore a fat suit on G4 and Attack of the Show, which you can see in the documentary, Attack of the Doc. And she's her own person and gives no Fs. So I feel like by doing that, she was making the right choice. And I've been in an awkward position like that before. And so much respect for her. Any comment, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, I had been in an NDA situation before. I did take the money though, because I don't know, it was when I worked a real job and my 18-year career had just kind of gone away thanks to let's just say unelected officials. And there was just nothing I could do, and I needed that. I mean, this was the market crash, so that money came in handy. But in this case, to be able to resist the urge, the temptation of an NDA is highly admirable. And I think it's kind of funny, but she's right. The results that happened is she never spoke about it anyways.
Right. To this day.
Yeah.
To this day. I wonder what it was.
Well, it had to be past the whole Ratner stuff, right? Because if it took place in 2017.
Could be, but good on her. And please, Alan, keep us up to date with any other Olivia Munn news. Please.
Yeah, I'll set up a Google alert.
I tell people all the time, set up Google alerts. They work. They work.
She was at the SNL 50th anniversary with her husband,
John Mulaney. Very funny. All right. Other news here. We like to keep track of what's happening with James Gunn's Superman. And in a promo for the NBA, Shaq meets David Cornsweet as Superman. I feel the way they're promoting Superman, I'm not sure if I'm down with all these. They did the Puppy Bowl during the Super Bowl instead of show a Superman commercial during the Super Bowl. Here's the promo. It's 1 minute with Shaq, David Cornsweet, and James Gunn. I'm concerned about this movie because of the way they're promoting it. Let's take a look at this 1 minute promo, which the ratings for the NBA are so low. They're half what they used to be. There's literally no excitement for the NBA, but I heard about this and I have to share it with you.
Biceps, too small. Boots will never fit. And the belt, not that thin anymore. I thought I sent you my sizes.
Oh, business and basketball legend Shaquille O'Neal. What are you doing here?
I'm just meeting with the director, James Gunn. I'm gonna be in this new Superman movie. Ain't that right, James?
Oh my God, I'm so glad you guys connected. It's not every day you get to meet the OG superhero. David, I want you to meet my buddy Shaq. Shaq, I want you to meet Superman. You see the resemblance?
Suit doesn't fit anyway.
Oh, Shaq, don't be like, what are you doing, dude? Come on, man.
You should have chose me, Mr. Gunn.
Dude, don't be like that, Shaq.
You know, you would look great in the suit.
Come on, I didn't even tell you about the cool cameo I offered Barkley.
Barkley. Dun, 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 dun.
Of course, Shaq famously has a he has a Superman tattoo. So I don't know. I want to feel something. And the trailer, we talked about it a lot. I feel like based on other trailers that have come out since, I'm not feeling it. I don't know about this it's supposed to be funny because Shaq calls himself Superman. He has a Superman tattoo. If you're not an NBA fan, you wouldn't. I'm not. I mean, I like the Lakers during the Shaq Kobe era. That was magical. It was great. But I don't know. Thoughts, Alan?
Yes. Hold on. Dog has to go. Why am I more excited about Fantastic Four now?
Right. I don't know if people even know about this. You would not know about this promo if I didn't share it with you just now.
I know. Yeah, I it's weird. It's like I finally saw the Fantastic Four trailer on the big screen for Captain America, and it's like, wow, I'm really excited about this. And I look at all the Superman stuff, and I don't know, marketing is just really you're right. Marketing has not been good for Superman, and I don't know why. I don't know who's in charge of it and what they're thinking. This is not a Superman promo. This is a little sketch with Superman in the background.
All right, some quick comments here. Shaq from Jim T. Shaq is from back when the NBA was watchable. Ninja Vanish, who's a member, thank you for that. James Gunn is so embarrassing. And Joker Jack Fitak, I thought that was lame. Yeah, it is kind of lame. All right, pivoting here, we have a story that I believe, which is the Brutalist Brady Corbet is living paycheck to paycheck. What is this, Alan?
Yes.
I have the story here from this is from the Wrap. Brady Corbet says he is living paycheck to paycheck, and the Brutalist has made him $0. I've spoken to many filmmakers that have films nominated this year that can't pay the rent, the director tells Mark Maron. Wait, Mark Maron is still doing that podcast?
Yes, he is.
I thought he was an actor. Alan, if you would read the crux of the story, please.
Sure. We'll just go down here to the quote. I just directed 3 advertisements in Portugal. Corbet shared on a recent episode of WTF with Mark Maron. It's the first time that I had made money really in years because both my partner, the Brutalist co-writer Mona Fastfold, and I made $0 on the last 2 films we made. Yes, actually 0. We had to just live off a paycheck from 3 years ago. Corbet explained that he took the commercial directing job overseas despite his busy award season schedule because he could not pass up the financial opportunity of it. Obviously, the timing during an award campaign and having to travel every 2 or 3 days was less than ideal, he commented, but it was an opportunity that landed in my lap and I jumped on it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't blame him for that, but I mean, famously, a lot of people who have been nominated for Oscars they're not exactly. You think that everybody in Hollywood is rich and a millionaire? Most people are working people and have to keep working to, make a living. So this doesn't surprise me. And it's a reflection of where the industry is going now. You're going to hear more about this. And this movie, by all accounts, made money. It was made for less than 10 million. It's still in theaters, just came out digital. So this is not surprising at all. So what do you think, Alan?
Yeah, I mean, you're right. It's the state of Hollywood right now. The people at the top make the most money than the people at the bottom. As actors, unless you're a name, you're not going to make that much money. And then we've certainly talked to people. Obviously, we talk to filmmakers, indie filmmakers, and it's not like there's a salary that comes with making a movie.
It's freelance. It's freelance. You do a job, you get paid. If you're not constantly working, you're not making money. That's just the way it is. That is the industry is a freelance business. You are an at-will employee. And when the job ends, the money is gone and you get paid to do the job. And that job is, if you're a director, to be fair, that's like minimum a year, 18 months. And for the big spectacle movies, years, like Marvel movie, you're working 2 to 3 years on a movie. But for an indie movie, which this was an independent film, he did the job and it was done. So now he's got to go do other, work for hire gigs. So,
I mean, it's not, it's really for indie films, especially true in indie film, but it's the producer role. If you're a producer, you don't get paid until that movie comes out and starts making money. And I think Brady Corbet, I would assume he's a producer in this movie as well. And, look, it's a long movie. It's not exactly the greatest title in the world. The marketing is very difficult for it. And so, he's going to make $0 doing it. And that's what, that's the artist. That's the life of the artist. What contrasts that with the Academy and the Oscars, we're going to make millions of dollars thanks to The Brutalist. And Brady will get the gift bag. And I'm pretty sure he's paying for his own trip to LA. That's what he gets out of The Brutalist, while the Oscars will get millions out of it.
I recommend this. You're gonna think I'm crazy. 2 things: 1, sell the gift bag, and 2, a friend of mine was gonna do this. He ended up not happening. Wear a tuxedo and sell ad space on it, like a NASCAR driver. So you show up to the Oscars and you've got like brands that are buying space on your tuxedo. You'll make money that night because you'll be on the red carpet. You'll be, you'll be on camera during the awards. Brady, sell ad space on your tux. Wear a Film Threat patch.
We have to pay him for it. That's the problem.
You should do it because,
Yeah. And you get a bonus if you win. I believe that's how it works.
Sure, but do that. Be a NASCAR driver. Take advantage. All right, some quick comments here. M for 2. Click the M and like and subscribe for reviews. Lord Comet, who isn't living paycheck to paycheck? Beaver Gladiator, imagine negotiating a bad deal and blaming everyone but yourself for signing that deal. I don't think he's blaming. He's just being honest.
Yeah, he's reflecting on the life of an artist, especially a foreign one, and one that $12 million or $10 million. That's
Bill W. A movie about architecture made little money. Surprising, unsurprising. Mike MC Wong, I like The Brutalist a lot. Guy Pearce was incredible, and Andrew Cram, our supporter, for 5. That sounds like the starving artist trope. It is. It is. We have so many news stories and so much going on. So I want to get this because it's short, Alan.
Okay.
You have not seen this. It's a new Snow White trailer that dropped on X. It's 1 minute. I want you to see it because you're the Disney file. Let's look at this. You ready?
Yes.
Go.
When I was a little girl, my mother taught me how to whistle because when you whistle, it's your heart singing.
Whistle while you work. Catch that fairy tune.
Magic mirror on the wall. Who is the fairest of them all?
Snow White. From Disney.
Find Snow White. This could be so much fun.
I was thinking the same thing.
I close my eyes.
On March 21st.
The girl I meant to be. Is she a
A magical
I had no
movie event arrives.
Point me in the right direction.
Disney's Snow White. Only in theaters March 21st. Rated PG.
It looks like AI. It looks like AI. What do you think, Alan?
I love how with every new teaser, with every new trailer, I'm less excited about this movie. Like the whistle while you work. I don't know if that's the actual way it'll show up in the movie, but why give it that dark spin to it? It's supposed to be a happy song. Yeah. And it feels like Captain America: Brave New World. It looks like a train wreck, and they're trying to fix it over and over again. And the more they try to fix it, the worse it's going to get.
I agree with you. The dwarves look terrible. They look terrible.
Here's my question:
how do you defend this?
Yeah, my question about the dwarves is...
Hey, wait! I'll say one thing that I liked about the trailer. The little logo thing at the very beginning. I thought that was like, an ode to the legacy of Walt Disney, but they give a tribute to the logo.
Yeah.
Kind of ridiculous. Anyways, you were going to say.
I'm going to say this about the dwarves. I mean, if you're going to CG the dwarves, why not just take the original dwarves from the cartoon and bring those to life as opposed to recreating it? The thing about those dwarves that we're not getting in the trailers is, you look at them and you know their name right off the bat. Happy, bashful, and so far. I don't get that with this. They were so well designed and constructed, almost 100 years ago. They should have gone with that. Yeah, and just everything that Rachel Zegler does as Snow White in this thing makes me feel like she's not even Snow White. Gal Gadot, on the other hand, she's evil.
Let's go to comments here real quick. Davina Duckworth: Disney has been accused of changing Rachel Zegler's skin tone in Snow White. It might be the least egregious of the film's sins. Yeah, I would agree. Mark Offenbacher: the dwarves are pure nightmare fuel. I would agree with that as well. We got a lot of films to review, and I do have news stories that relate to some of our movies, including Daisy Ridley in Cleaner. It's not The Cleaner, it's Cleaner. We will talk about that. I have news stories related to it. I'll include those with our review. I have a lot to say about Cleaner. A lot. That's our biggest movie we're talking about today, is Cleaner. But let's kick it off with a movie you saw that I did not, Alan. You could set it up for me.
Yeah.
It's Unbreakable Boy. The Unbreakable Boy. What is this, a superhero movie? Is he unbreakable like Bruce Willis?
Well, he's like the last Breakable movie. He's got the kind of the same disease. The kid here has brittle bone disease. So basically, this comes from Lionsgate. Comes from Lionsgate. It comes from their Faith division, which seems to be doing better than its feature division.
You mean movies that make money?
Yeah, exactly. And I think this one will. It's got a very positive message. But the boy here is, his name's Austin. He has brittle bone disease. I forget the name of it. He is also autistic. Zachary Levi plays his father, who kind of, he met a girl, the mother, Teresa, played by Megan Fahey. And after 3 dates, she gets pregnant, and they enter this relationship. When the son is born, they realize that there's something wrong, and he basically got the same brittle bone disease as his mother. They also have another child, and so it follows the path of this family up until high school, basically, or junior high. And what I like about this movie, so it's the story of a father who wanted a child, got it thrust upon him by surprise, and realized from Austin here that that this wasn't the parenthood, the fatherhood that he expected. It was the idea of he wanted a normal child, and the way he dealt with just the frustration of having to constantly be going to the hospital because he's always breaking bones. I think 24 is the total number of bones he broke up until this point. And then the autism doesn't help either. this frustration he's felt, he basically dealt with it through alcohol, and he becomes an alcoholic, and to the point where he goes to a New Year's Eve party with the two boys, and he drinks it up just a little bit too much and doesn't remember coming home, and he gets booted, and he has to kind of make that life decision. Austin refers to that moment as the point in which the family broke, and this idea of breaking is the theme of it. I really like this film, especially as the faith stuff is there, and I kind of appreciate Lionsgate's approach to it. The last movie I really enjoyed from them was Unsung Heroes, but to me, having been a Christian all my life, and having known a lot of people, the idea that, something bad is going to happen, we'll pray about it and everything will be okay. To me, as uplifting and positive as that is, it doesn't always reflect, my life as a Christian and my friends' lives as Christians. And what this movie points out is that we are all broken people, and that we all have our hurdles in life we have to overcome. And in this case, the only normal person in this family is the Zachary Levi character, and he resents God for having put him through it, put him through all this, and that he wishes he could take all the pain and trauma of his family and put it on him instead. And that's a very powerful message, and it's played out very well. And it's just a story of redemption. The Zachary Levi character, believe it or not, is the bad guy in the movie. And you have this kid Austin here, played by Jacob Laval. Amazing. I don't know his situation, whether he's really autistic or not, but he gives a really great performance. And highly recommended. It's a very family film. Probably for the older children, but I just appreciate its message, its positivity. We're going to talk about this later, but positive stories like this are few and far between. But these stories are very powerful, and I highly recommend Unbreakable Boy.
Well, it's one of those things. It's a type of movie that they used to make, and they weren't even faith-based. They were just like uplifting. That's what you would say these movies are. I saw a film that's similar to this from Angel Studios that comes out next month, and I got suckered again. I'll talk like these movies. I'm all like, because I'm kind of like, give me a break. And I don't know. I feel like these movies are popular because it's a positive, uplifting message. So I haven't seen this film. I probably wouldn't go see it. If I end up seeing it, I'll probably like it, and I'll be mad at you that you recommended it. So there you go.
Well, sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I'm just saying that I think these movies resonate. They're also not very expensive, right? They're not superhero effects. It's a drama. It's simply people talking in a room. No, not an action scene. So I think films like this do well and are making a comeback.
Yeah. I think the business model of this is interesting, because I think the idea is that it'll break even in the theater, but then stories like this tend to have a life beyond it, and so it'll make more money over time. And I think that's where Lionsgate that's their revenue source is post theatrical, and that's why I think they lean into these faith films.
Let's go. So you recommend it?
Recommend it, yes. The trailers do look sappy, but
I know I saw the trailer for this. I'm like, nah, not for me.
Yeah, the kid is not as annoying as you would think it would be. In fact, it becomes endearing. This constant talking he does.
Let's go to your comments here.
Yeah, Andrew Cram. I will always support Levi's projects. Yeah. Toxic Walls N8. Mr. Glass prequel. Exactly. Same condition.
You're right, Mr. Glass.
Yeah. C. Stein 69. Movie was filmed about the time American Underdog was. Zach said he was supposed to come out almost 3 years ago, but Lionsgate held onto it when only tentpole movies were successful. Yeah, he said that it was held on for 3 years because they really wanted they wanted a theatrical, and this was the time. And American Underdog, same writer, director, and and star.
Good. We have a lot of films to review today. Let's get to The Monkey. That's why you're all here. So
I did not
Alan,
see this one. I did not see that.
no.
No, it's Lori who's
Yeah.
Okay.
That's good. Okay. Let's talk about The Monkey, which is directed by Osgood Perkins. Who is Osgood Perkins? Well, you remember he is the director behind Longlegs with Nicolas Cage, which is a movie that I quite enjoyed from the tone. It was very, very tonally, I thought was great. It does not stick the landing in the third act. Osgood Perkins is also Anthony Perkins' son. So his family has a legacy in horror. So The Monkey is about an actual monkey. Okay. It is a monkey that drums, and these two kids, when they were young, twin brothers, get this, they kind of find it among their father's belongings. And what this monkey does is when you wind it up and it starts a rat-tat-tat on the drums, someone always dies. It's a horror comedy, and probably leaning more into the comedy in the first half of the movie, which I'm not gonna, it's what this is Final Destination with a monkey, and the deaths are gruesome. I mean, gory, but funny because they're so over the top and ridiculous. I'm not going to ruin any of them. They are hilarious and horrifying. And Tatiana Maslany plays their mom as when they're young boys. And this monkey is literally monkey trouble to anyone. And the deaths are so Final Destination. They're like a Rube Goldberg like thing happens, and then boop, 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 and then somebody somehow dies by a series of weird things occurring, which must have to do with the monkey. Well, the two brothers, they bury this thing, they throw it down a well to get rid of it. Years later, they're grown, and one of the twins has a son with a relationship. Also, Elijah Wood is in this. I barely recognized him. He looks so different. But now the monkey has somehow resurfaced, and strange deaths are occurring. I'm glad I saw this with an audience. People bursting out loud laughing. It was laughing and going, ew, which I love. If you like the Final Destination movies, this is like those movies. What's great about Final Destination is everyone can see the death coming. You see it, you're like, oh my God, don't drive behind that truck filled with giant logs, you idiot. You are going to die. And that's what ends up happening the more this goes on. I do think it gets a little tired and ridiculous by the end. So like his last film kind of doesn't stick the landing, but the concept I loved. And I could not believe how many people I saw at the screening I was at had the monkey popcorn buckets. They were everywhere. I was tempted.
You should have.
I should have gotten it because it will be gone. Although they had plenty of Captain America buckets everywhere. You could, those were not in limited supply.
Yeah.
So if you like Final Destination, if you like, this is more of a comedy. Longlegs was not as much a comedy, it had its moments, but this is definitely more leaning on the comedy. I think conceptually they've created what will probably be a franchise. And I have to admit, I had a really good time. You know, I'm just sitting here laughing through the whole thing. It was insanely over the top. There's a series of deaths in the third act. I can't even tell you. Obviously, I'm not spoiling any of the ways in which people die. They're just stupid. They are so stupid and over the top. You can only laugh. So I got sucked in. I would say I enjoyed this better than Long Legs. I think they're also trying to build towards a franchise, and I recommend it. But look, if you're squeamish about gore, don't see this. Do not. It is some of those most gruesome deaths I've seen and very creative too, just like Final Destination. So a recommend for the monkey. It's fun, but I like the first half of the movie probably better than the second half. But and probably has a great marketing tie-in, and I can see the Monkey 2, More Monkey Trouble, coming to theaters. So I actually think you would like this, Alan, just because it's so you like comedy.
I do like.
You're
comedy.
a comedy guy.
The comedy intrigues me. I just feel like I'm going to spend most of my time cringing at all the death.
But that's part of the experience.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, I know. But I mean, it's reminiscent. That's why back in the 80s, people went to horror films. It's the screaming at the screen saying, don't open that door.
I'll tell you what it is. This came from just having covered horror for a long time. A lot of this comes from the best thing about horror, especially seeing horror movies when you're in high school, going on dates, right? Like a horror movie is a safe bet to go on a date because it's the challenge of, can you take it?
Mm-hmm.
And that came from like movies about like driver's ed that would be gruesome to kind of scare you into wearing your seatbelt. That's where this kind of genre of the over-the-top gore came from, those kinds of movies. The purpose of those educational films in high school, that they would show these movies that basically would scare you into being a safe driver and wearing your seatbelt. And this genre of over-the-top gore owes itself to these old, educational driving movies. Look it up.
Red Asphalt.
Look it up. Yeah. Red Asphalt. All these movies. This movie, The Monkey, owes a debt to those, because the whole thing is watching it on the big screen in a theater with a bunch of people, experiencing it, and can you take it? Do you look away from the screen? Do you watch what's happening? And the reaction, people screaming. I mean, the theater I was at, people screamed, laughed, and then also like where you'd hear the which, so it's recommended. And like this one death near the end of the film, I can't. It's all I'm saying is they're very creative ways of seeing lots of people die. And there you go. It's a new Final Destination type of film. So there you go.
Yeah. Which is why I think I like Long Legs. I was more willing to see Long Legs than this one. And I think Long Legs is more about the Nicolas Cage character than anything.
Well, this is more of a comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And we could use a good comedy.
Yes.
So there you go.
All right.
Let's go to your comments.
Oliver Lavery Frog. It's not murder if you're just monkeying around. Yeah. Goober, Final Destination Monkey. Solomon Thornton. I'm not sure. Okay. Solomon Thornton. They should have stopped monkeying around. Okay. We get it. We get it, everybody. Sorry. I don't know if you're there or not. American Remnant. Somehow the monkey returned.
Yeah, I'm doing my job.
Yeah, all right. And I'm doing your job. Goober, member for 26 months. A more personal film of OP. I want more comedy. For OP.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, unfortunately, I think it should have, like, the first half and second half kind of, had a tone shift. And I think that's maybe the flaw.
So are you saying it's one note? It felt one note?
It felt one note.
Yeah. Okay. But does it stick the landing?
The very end, yes.
Okay.
For
Bill
me.
W. Red Asphalt 2, now with a monkey. Lord Comet, it's unreal when the monkey is spanking you. There we go. And then finally, JWT6577. Remember, for 17 months, all movies need a monkey.
I would agree with that.
Yes, touch
I would
the
agree.
monkey.
All right, we have more films to review. Let's do Old Guy and then get to Cleaner, because I have a lot to say about Cleaner.
Okay, I've seen this
Alan,
one as well. Have you seen this?
What's that?
Did you see it, or am I the only one who saw it?
We both saw Old Guy. Alan, tell me the story of Old Guy.
Okay, Christoph Waltz plays Danny Dolinsky, who is a hitman for the mob. He has just recovered over carpal tunnel syndrome. His right hand, his shooting hand, is still very sore, but he needs to get back to work and then reclaim his spot as the top assassin for the mob. Speaking of the mob, they want to, let's just say they want to move in a younger direction. So in comes, is it Wilborg, played by Cooper Hoffman. They want Danny to basically go along with him on the next kill and give him hints and pointers. Danny won't have anything to do with it. Danny says he wants to be back and runs roughshod over the new assassin, and to much dismay because the hand is not completely healed. And so he starts botching a few jobs. And so Danny has to come in and rescue. This whole movie is just about this relationship between the old guy and the new guy, set around a conspiracy between mob gangs that wants to kill the two along with the people who've hired him.
And Lucy Liu is
hot, yes.
Is hot and involved. Christoph Waltz is amazing in this as I'm fine. He's got his hand in a sling or whatever because of the carpal tunnel, which affects his shooting. And Cooper Hoffman, I love this guy. He was in Licorice Pizza. So as the young up and coming assassin, and they have this like Gen Z, like boomer relationship that's really tense. They effing hate each other, but they need each other. And Danny is constantly questioning his younger protege who doesn't need his help. And it's that dynamic that makes the movie work. And it's also short, 90 minutes, in and out, an action comedy. And I've always loved Christoph Waltz from the beginning. When I first noticed him in Quentin Tarantino's Inglourious Bastards, where he kind of first, I'm sure he acted before that, but that role, that opening scene, he's so amazing. He has that gravitas. He uses that here. And Cooper Hoffman, if you have not seen Licorice Pizza, he has a charm. And also what I like about Cooper Hoffman is he's not a traditionally good-looking Hollywood type. So many Hollywood actors, there's a sameness about them, a sameness that is annoying. And he's uncharacteristically good-looking, and he's a great foil for Christoph Waltz. I love that kind of, that like, young guy, the Gen Z annoying kid, and then he's sort of boomerish, like older, seasoned, and they kind of learn from each other, whatever. It's it is kind of a story we've seen before. He's being forced to retire, but I have to say I love it. And Lucy Liu is very charming, very still sexy. How is she still sexy?
She's Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She is she's 56 and looks amazing.
Wow, that makes me feel
what?
Because I'm a year older than her.
Oh my god. Anyways, for what it is, for the type of movie it's aspiring to be, an action comedy, I had a good time. And the main thing that works is the dynamic between Christoph Waltz and Cooper Hoffman are great together. That's when the movie is at its best. So give it a solid recommend. 6.5 or 6.5, I'd say, is a fair number rating. Do you recommend it, Alan?
I don't know.
Oh no, okay.
Clearly you like this movie better than I did.
I liked it. I had fun with it.
Yeah, you know what it is? It's the Cooper Hoffman character. And my fear is that this is going to be the new trope of Hollywood films, and it's this focus on Gen Z and the narcissism of Gen Z. You know, they experience anxiety. You know, they need to be treated differently. They need to be coddled, and that's just even the way the there's a point at the end where he has to rescue him. It just feels like I don't like the direction. If this is the direction of movie making, where we have to lean in and embrace Gen Z anxiety and narcissism, we're in for a rough time over the next few years. And this kind of exemplified it. I think, it's not that this movie is Gen Z for Gen Z, because, it's really about the Christoph Waltz character who has to deal with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I necessarily felt like they dealt with it well. I think they just began tolerating each other. But, it just started the movie. The introduction of the Cooper Hoffman character just started the movie in the wrong direction for me. And I don't think it was able to bail itself out, because it just then becomes a standard action comedy. A lot of guns, a lot of shooting, a lot of people dying in this one. But just that one element just kind of says, I think we're moving in the wrong direction. And I can't recommend that film.
I would defend it and say this is the kind of 90s independent film that got made all the time. Mm-hmm. There's nothing woke about it. It has a sense of fun. I do think it's a little predictable. It's a little predictable for me. But it reminded me of a type of movie, a type of independent movie they made in the 90s, and I liked those movies. So
I mean, you're right, it's not woke, but I don't know. I guess my intolerance for Gen Z nonsense is coming through with this one.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's go to comments here.
From Rumble, from Pat for $1. The scariest movie I've ever seen was in my high school health class. It's probably one of those Disney films. Geek True 64, Christoph Waltz makes every movie better. Yes, I mean,
I agree.
Christoph Waltz is very good in this movie.
He's part of the reason it gets a recommend.
Mm-hmm. I'll agree with that. JWT 6577 for $5. This comes off like a retread. Oh, I read that one wrong. Like a retread of that Bruce Willis movie, Red.
That's not a bad thing necessarily.
Yeah. Seed, Old Guy 4, just take me out by the shed and old yeller me.
That's great.
Bumpy Johnson, how does Chris feel Cooper Hoffman compares to his father? Does he feel it's fair for actors like Cooper to be compared to their fathers? Michael Gandolfini is another.
Who's his father? I didn't
know.
Philip
Seymour Hoffman.
Oh.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, that should answer. You like the performance, not knowing who his father was.
Yeah. See, I did not know that.
Yeah.
I just know I saw him in Licorice Pizza, and he was great.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of passes off as British in this film as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Thank you for that, Bumpy. I didn't know that. And you know what? I liked him. It didn't matter. So, again, it's a split decision here. I give it a slight recommends. Look, a 6.5 is not a great. It's good, right? It's good. And Alan says no. You probably give it what, a 5?
5, yeah.
Yeah. So see, I know you, Alan. I know you.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the outstanding performances is Lucy Liu and Christoph Waltz, but that wasn't enough to cover the story and everything I mentioned.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, we have to pivot. We have another movie. We have a couple movies to review. So let's go. Let's go here.
Okay. So other than The Cleaner,
sorry about that.
Now go ahead.
Let me tell you about this movie because I want to spend more time on Cleaner, because it deserves it. I want to tell you about a film called Neza 2. Hey, what are the problem we're having with the posters?
Okay. It's just slow.
Yeah. Okay. Let's start over. let me tell you about a little film called Neza 2. Neza 2 is a Chinese animated feature film. It's 2 hours and 23 minutes. It's a sequel to a film called Neza, which you can watch free on YouTube. And if I were to tell you the weird story of this, you would be incredibly confused. My friend Mike MC Wong tried to explain the story of it. It's just a fantasy film with people with superpowers. I see it as, and I can't say for sure, it very much has a feel of the Dragon Ball Z and all that series with super powered spiritual beings and immortals. And this is, I mean, the most over the top version of a Dragon Ball movie that is just it's sort of two factions of spirits battling each other, right? You've got literal dragons and quote evil spirits going after the people. I'm trying to simplify it because to get into it is going to be it's too much. It's too much. It's a lot of Chinese folklore. But I'll say, not knowing anything and going in, and I went back and watched the original Neza, the precursor to this movie, which was just okay. This one goes for it in such an epic way. Like, the visuals are what makes it. I don't care if you know what's going on. The visuals, and not only that, like, the visuals are this insane where you've got these epic battles with thousands of people on screen. Like thousands of people that form like a human cherry blossom tree, where the cherry blossoms are humans in epic battles that are like anything out of the like Lord of the Rings 2 Towers, but times 1,000. It's like, I feel like this movie, in a way, it's like the Chinese saying, oh yeah, you want to make epic movies? We're going to make the most epic movie. Epic and over the top, and all the powers are over the top. They evolve, but it's still, in spite of the epicness, does have a heart to it. And Neza has this relationship with his mother that is very heartwarming. There's a scene where I got to admit, got kind of choked up. So I recommend this for the spectacle and just jumping in. And you can watch the first movie is actually on YouTube for free, or I think it's on Tubi, or it's available to watch for free. So just look up Neza. And I was blown away by the visuals. I mean, maybe we could watch the trailer. It would probably get copyright claimed, but I feel like it was so, let's watch the trailer. Why not? Why can't we watch the trailer? Because I feel like it's just hard to describe all of this. In terms of just everything is big and spectacle and huge. And I gotta here, let me cue it up here and let's watch it, because you're just gonna see just stuff that will blow your mind. Let's take a look. 1.5 minutes.
哪吒，好久不见呐！你愿与老夫一同出征否？
这家伙，我最擅长。我乃哪吒三太子。
瞧瞧，一身正气。
能降妖来，化作尸。开始，收你们来了！ 今日到此除奸恶，尔等妖孽快受死！
公族犯下滔天罪行，
我们报仇雪恨的千载良机到了。
我若出战，就让陈塘关 鸡犬不留。
住手！
你不 死活了！
我活不活无所谓，我只有你死！
哪吒，你战力未完，宁可当平庸工。是我。
I will say this, it starts out very cartoony, like kind of kid-like cartoony, and then it gets really dark. Like I would say little kids it looks cute at the beginning, but it gets very, very dark and scary nightmare images by the second half. So I would say in terms of kids, maybe not for single digit aged, like I'd say 11 and up, maybe
PG-13.
12. Yeah, PG-13, because it gets scary. I think little kids, also the running time, 2 hours, 20 minutes. So I'm giving this a strong recommend for those willing to roll the dice, take a risk. And it really is China lately. They are trying to be competitive with Hollywood. And as an animated film, probably the best I've seen this year. By the way, we're only in February, so whatever. But it is for 2025. I don't see how this doesn't get an Oscar nom. It's that good. And I don't know what the politics are behind that. Whatever. Yeah. I mean, Flo is nominated this year, so but I really enjoyed it. Strong recommend. 8 out of 10 from me.
Okay, so based on your description of this is the reason why I'm not inclined to see it, and the issue I have with a lot of the Chinese films. But the part of it is, I having heard everything you said about it, I don't know what this story is. And I'll be honest, when I watch Chinese movies like this, I find myself getting lost and missing things, and finding myself, well, why are we here? How did we get here? And it's kind of wishing that I could go back and rewatch what I just seen so I know where we are. Plots like this tend to get confusing, especially for some reason Chinese films. There's just so much going on that it's just hard to kind of grasp onto the plot and stick with it.
Yeah.
I mean, what is can you give a simple idea what this plot is? What we're trying to do?
It's a redemption arc. It's very, we've seen it before.
Yeah.
But you're right, the story is confusing. I had to have Mike MC Wong walk me through it.
Yeah.
And his description was more confusing than the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
I'm recommending it for the visuals and how crazy big this film is. It's truly epic. Let's go to comments.
All right. I will not eat the bugs. Nisa 1 was fun, but the character was annoying as a kid, but thankfully grew up.
Yeah, he's a kid at the beginning and grows up into like a teen in the course of Nisa 2.
Okay. Gemstone 24. I tried watching Nisa on Netflix a while back and was all over the place. This is from a Chinese film and comic fan. Yeah.
I did go back and watch one. It was okay. I didn't like it, but Nisa 2 takes it to the next level.
Yeah. Christopher Moonlight Productions. Is this the one that Pixar is distributing and is outselling all their hits? Also, a human tree sounds very Clive Barker.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that. ADL's 24. How was the Mao Zedong cameo?
Haha.
Jared Guffey, Dragon Ball meets Kung Fu Panda. This is lame. I will say the animation looks better than DreamWorks.
It's yeah. And I did see the Dragon Ball movie that was in theaters like a year or two. It was a couple years ago, actually.
Yeah. Will Young, member for 7 months. Thank you. Do I need to see Nisa 1 to enjoy 2?
No. I saw Nisa 2 without seeing 1. I went back and watched 1. I thought it was okay. It gave some context, but you don't need to see it.
All right. And Ron Henriquez. Chris Nisa is also featured in the creation of the Gods film series. Same source material. Love the film.
Yeah, I'm glad. See, someone else saw it who loved it.
Yeah.
It's one of those where you're like, I don't know the backstory of all the gods. It's all the Chinese folklore, but I loved what I was seeing.
Yeah, believe it or not, I don't know Chinese folklore. So that's the thing is, feel like if you knew Chinese folklore, you'd latch on to this better than most people would. Andrew Cram, I like the dragon in the poster because it represents chaos in ancient cultures, and that is interesting to me. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Very good.
All right. Our final film for today is Cleaner. Here we go. Cleaner stars Daisy Ridley, who also produced through her production company. This is her second film through her production company. He is literally a cleaner who cleans windows on the outside of buildings. It's a very dangerous job. And she is late for work. Her life is in chaos. She wakes up late and shows up late, and she needs to clean a very specific glass window where a bird has smashed into the glass, leaving a mess. And she has to go outside and clean the windows. Very dangerous job. I'm sure it pays well. Daisy Ridley's character has an autistic brother. She's very protective of her brother, who she brings to work with her. And Joey, the name of her character is Joey Locke, sort of sets her brother aside to go outside this building to do this very dangerous job. Clive Owen plays a character that is going to take over the building, or a floor of the building, where a group of elitists are all gathered for a big meeting to pat themselves on the back about how great they are and how amazing they are and whatnot.
Clive Owen, the environment. Let's be clear.
Yeah, to the environment. And he shows up with a group of terrorists. This is kind of they're basing this terrorist group on the kind of environmentalists in England who do those annoying, splashing paint on
instead of holding artwork for hostage, they hold people for hostage.
Yeah, they're holding people for hostage here, and it's up to Joey Locke, played by Daisy Ridley, to foil these terrorists. Now, I feel like we should just spoil this whole movie. Because it's so dumb. It's Die Hard on the outside of a building. It is ridiculous. Joey's presented as this kind of F up, right? Late to work, can't do anything right. Autistic brother brings to work. She's incompetent, but she's former army or special, whatever it is. She was in the army, and so she has a certain set of skills. This is so dumb. It is, and by the way, every male character here is shamed into being an
They're
idiot.
all misogynists.
They're all misogynists. Everyone. There's like simple exchange. One of the guys who's taken hostage, he's in the elevator. He looks over at a cleaning woman who's pregnant. And he makes like you're pregnant. Annoying. Like every single man has a moment where they act like a sexist pig. Every single one.
Except for the brother. Let's just say except for the
autistic brother. And it's so over the top, predictable, dumb. This is the dumbest movie of 2025. This is like a script that was written at the height of Me Too. It's Girl Boss the movie, starring Daisy Ridley, who I think we've all determined, and we'll discuss later, she's not a movie star. She's currently experiencing the same career post Star Wars that Mark Hamill did in the 70s and 80s, which is nothing. A series of forgettable movies, including this one. And look, I actually like Daisy Ridley as an actress. She should not be making this kind of movie. Yeah, she has. I really feel like she's Daisy Ridley in everything now. And also, by the way, quick spoiler: Clive Owen is in one scene in the movie.
Yeah, they Sean Bean him.
They Sean Bean Clive Owen. He's prominent in the trailer. He's on the poster, and he is just gone. What?
He's murdered in the first.
He's murdered by a new heavy who's completely forgettable. Everything about the script seems like it was written by AI. It's laughable. First of all, I was laughing out loud during the whole film at how dumb and over the top it's freaking Die Hard with Daisy Ridley. And she's I was like, how much I'm watching it every time every line is so stupid. I was dying watching. Alan, you know what I think of this?
Yeah.
It's worst of 2025 so far. What did you think?
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we joke about her being on the outside. She's on the outside of the building for over half the movie.
Yes.
Look, when I was growing up in the 80s and 90s, it was Schwarzenegger, Stallone. Now it's Daisy Ridley. I mean, that's how far action films have come, to where, you watch movies, you see people who could plausibly do the things that they do on screen. Yeah, Stallone could do that, sure. Schwarzenegger could do that, yeah. But now we have Daisy Ridley, and these are the new action heroes. And I will say this, more plausible than Sabra from Captain America.
Right.
The other thing is the autistic brother. Is this now a trope? Is autism now the new character in action films?
It's never a female. It was in Alien Romulus had it.
Yeah.
Right. This is now a thing. The autistic brother and the caring sister. This is, and it's hard. You know what this is? It's the Madam Web of Daisy Ridley movies. That's what this is. It's freaking Madam Web levels of laughable. It's so ridiculous. From her as an action star to like the believability of that is stupid.
Yeah.
Her like just the plot with the bad guys, right? And they kind of force all the elitists to record a message, publicly to shame them. It's so stupid. To the like police chief, who's a woman,
of
who's
course.
like, no, I trust her. Like all the women are saintly and good, and every man is a pig.
Yeah, they're saintly good, and they know exactly what's going on. And
all the women, they're like, they know what's going on. Like, at first, the police chief, they're all telling the police chief, we can't trust. How do we know she's not one of the terrorists? It's like, I get like the police, female police chief has got a feeling about this woman, Joey. It's Madam Web levels of bad girl bossery. It's so cringe, every part of it. It's completely predictable because we know when you're doing a movie that's like this, what is supposed to happen, right? This is supposed to happen, right? And it's just cringe inducing.
Yeah.
Cringe.
So let me go back to the autistic brother.
Yeah.
Because there's no romance in this movie.
None at all.
But plot wise, the autistic brother would have taken the place of the hero's girlfriend.
Right.
It's the autistic brother is sympathetic. We care for him. He's treated badly, and he knows how to hack computers.
Yes, exactly.
This is
it's so cliche.
Yeah, it's not cliche, because this is the beginning of now the autistic sidekick. We are now going to start seeing in our action movies the autistic sidekick,
right?
Who basically can do everything. Can hack any system in the world on a computer. Again, because there's no romance, this is how we build sympathy for another character. There is one good thing about this movie. One thing I did enjoy about this movie.
What?
and it was just how brutal the killer was. The main bad guy. I mean, he doesn't care and loves killing people and just you know, just for the sake of it, just to do it, just because it fuels his bloodlust. And I like that. That was just, you know, no one was safe in this movie from this villain. But you know, you got to endure a whole lot, and you have a hero that is just, you know, again, girl boss is the right term, because you watch it and look, you could call us misogynist, whatever, but the reality is our brain tells us that a person of Daisy Ridley's character's stature and experience couldn't do these things. Could do it to a degree. I mean, I assume because they look, she's a kid in the beginning of the movie. She runs away from home, and the next movie she's ex-army, and there's nothing in between. And so all her skills are basically told us because she's ex-army. And so we just have to now accept the things that this character can do, when we need a little bit more of that. We need something along the way that says she could plausibly have these skills, and this movie does nothing to do that. And
this
so, yeah,
movie, I give it a 2 out of 10. It's the worst film I've seen this year, and it's been a bad year so far. Okay, and the only way, I hate to say that I actually enjoyed, because I was laughing at the movie, how bad and unbelievable it was. Alan, your verdict, and we'll go to comments.
Yeah, I'll give it a 3 just because I like the villain. I like the villain's actions. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
And then look, Daisy Ridley seems to be on a trend, because her last movie, The Young Woman in the Sea, was about misogyny as well. This is just loaded with misogyny. There's a theme now. There's a pattern that is starting to develop, and so I'm pretty sure the Ray movie will be all about misogyny.
Let's go to comments here.
Okay, Mob 19001, Cleaner 2, Scrub Harder.
And Lucky Ocho became a member. Thank you for that.
Anonymous, Ray Hard.
Ray Hard. That's great.
William for 10. Daisy wasn't good in Star Wars, and her post-Star Wars career has been terrible. No wonder she's trying to go back and get a new Star Wars trilogy with her as the lead. She is not an actor that can lead a movie.
I agree. I've got some, we're going to go to some news stories about this.
Andrew Cranford 2, is she good at window cleaning? Yes. The windows were clean after she was done. ADLS24, autism is a superpower. ADLS2, 2 out of 10, sounds like a must-watch. Suns and Shadows, bring back 80s roided out action movies. Exactly. Hey, it's me in HD. Love Clive Owen, but he's no Alan Rickman, and no more than Daisy Ridley is no Bruce Willis.
Ooh, Daisy Ridley.
Patrick Lumiere, autism isn't so hot right now. Well, got to. BMO better. Do the windows get cleaned by the end? They actually get blown out from bombs.
Let's look at this. Daisy Ridley's post Star Wars career. I have some stories. Here we go. Let's look at this. I was crying so much. Daisy Ridley reveals the cleaner scene that made her break down.
Oh no.
These movies she's made post Star Wars are not great.
Might want to blow that one up.
Oh, I will do that. I will blow it up a little bit more here. Okay. Get down here. Daisy Ridley stars in Martin Campbell's action thriller Cleaner, about a deadly hostage situation in London led by climate change activists. So here you go. And let's get to the quote from her. So she says, this is from Collider. Joey listens to a lot of music when she's up there cleaning. Were there any songs that helped you into the mind space? It was so awful. I'm a bit jet lagged, and I now can't remember the band name on her t-shirt. But the band name on her t-shirt, I listen to them a lot to get that rocky feeling. I've talked about this before. She said there's so much nuance to it regarding the brother-sister relationship at the heart of the cleaner. So, and she goes on to say, it was interesting because I've spoken to a few people who have that particular dynamic too. Someone who is neurodivergent and someone who is neurotypical. And I did really want to honor that between siblings. Of course, Joey and Michael had a really difficult upbringing, but Joey is able to live an independent life. She goes on, look, these movies she's made post Star Wars, none of them have been good. Not a single one. I mean, I got another story here. Let's look at this. Another one here.
Let's see what she's done since.
Here's her 10 best roles outside of Star Wars. I can list two. Young Woman and the Sea and Cleaner. But here's Daisy Ridley's 10 best roles outside of Star Wars. Do you want to hear what they are?
Yes.
Only 10 movies she's made. Let's go to it, right? Chaos Walking. She played Viola. Okay, never heard of it. Never heard of that movie. Peter Rabbit. She's in Peter Rabbit. She plays Cottontail. Didn't know that. The Marsh King's Daughter. Forgettable. You know that movie, Alan?
Didn't see it, no.
Murder on the Orient Express. She has a bit part in that, is Miss Mary Debenham. She was also the inventor in She was in The Inventor. She played Marguerite. I saw that movie. It's a stop motion animated film. I saw it. It was actually very good. I didn't know she was in it. Magpie, which we reviewed that recently. That's the movie through her production company.
Yeah, Bailey. I don't even remember it.
She plays Annette. Do you remember any of these movies?
I don't remember it. I mean, I know the title Magpie. Couldn't tell you a thing about it.
Ophelia. She was Ophelia in Ophelia. That was years ago.
Yeah, that was priest. No, it was Last Jedi. Just after Last Jedi.
Yeah. And then Only Yesterday. She's done a lot of voice work.
Mm-hmm.
She's no Mark Hamill. She was Only Yesterday. She played Tycho. Ridley's strongest voice acting role was in a Studio Ghibli classic. Well, there you go.
Didn't see it.
Sometimes I think about dying. She played Fran. Does anyone know these movies? Anyone? And the number one movie of her 10 memorable roles was Young Woman and the Sea. She played Trudy Ederle. And I did see Young Woman.
Yes.
Alan, what do you think of this? These are not bangers, these movies. And Cleaner is not going to get any. I mean, these are all kind of forgettable films.
I mean, that's the thing about the Cleaner and action movies. You're not seeing it for the plot. You're seeing it for the star. And that's why I say, Stallone could draw an audience. Schwarzenegger could draw an audience. Bruce Willis could draw an audience, especially for an action movie. Daisy Ridley is not in that position. And it's, maybe if she was more popular, if she had done more movies like that, she had built a reputation outside of Ray, we might be more inclined, but she hasn't. And look, she's, she made a movie that she underestimated people wanted to see or would go out of their way to see. Because let's be frank, The Cleaner is a movie that you would only see because Daisy Ridley is in it. Not by its plot, not by anything.
Well, what's funny, this story from Screen Rant, Daisy Ridley's 10 best roles outside of Star Wars, they were scraping the bottom of the barrel to find 10 things she was in.
Well, the fact that half of them were voiceover roles.
Half of them were voice acting. Give me a break. Oh my God. I think if they're going to make a new Star Wars starring her, that doesn't have Harrison Ford in it, doesn't have anyone, she would be the biggest star of that movie. I don't think it'll do well.
Yeah, and the more time that goes by, the more the more we forget about Ray, and any good feelings you had toward Ray slowly diminishes the longer this movie takes to come out.
Here, I want to share another story here. This is Daisy Ridley's Star Wars, Quality versus Quickness. If you could read this story, Alan.
Hold on, now I gotta pull it up here.
Pull it up if you would. I'll get to the headline here.
Yeah, I got it.
It's Daisy Ridley talks the physical toll of cleaner, and this is from the Hollywood Reporter, and quality over quickness for her next Star Wars movie. There's a quote in here. What's funny is she's doing the press tour for Cleaner, and everyone's asking her about Star Wars. You could probably just go to the quote.
Yeah, let me find it here. So The Cleaner was directed by one of the Bond directors, I think. But then she talks about, here it is. People have talked a lot about it, that the release date often affects films and how quickly things go into productions. So the freedom to make sure that this new Jedi Order script is the best way to tell the story is wonderful. I don't think any fans would want it to be rushed, Ridley said. The wait will be worth it. I know George Nolfi is working on it, and he is a phenomenal writer. I'm really looking forward to reading it, and yes, it'll all be worthwhile. She's basically saying, look, time over quality. You want a good movie, it's going to take time. And that's my gut tells me she's covering for Disney right now.
Yeah, I actually happen to think that
it's not happening.
It's not ever going to happen. And the reason she got that role in Young Woman and the Sea, that was a Disney movie. They're trying to keep her on the payroll to get to Star Wars, because the money she's being offered for Star Wars, that doesn't happen unless they make the movie. And like we were talking earlier in the show from Brady Corbet, not getting actors got to get paid. They get paid when they work. So they got to keep her on the payroll.
Right. But the thing is, they are, if you're right, they're literally investing money in this actress, in Daisy Ridley. And is that the right bet?
Well, again, I think her post Star Wars career is about as successful as Mark Hamill in the 80s. It just a lot of forgettable projects.
Corvette Summer.
Let's go to your comments.
All right, from Rumble, from Pat for $1. Jean Reno in Leon the Professional refers to his occupation as a cleaner. Imagine Ridley in Leona the Professional Part 2.
That could work.
Nerd Far Away. I've never heard of any of these except Young Woman and the Sea. Laura Buckles. So some of her best movies were ones where she doesn't appear on screen. Exactly.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Nicholas Vargo. I saw The Inventor. It was spectacular. Her voice added a lot. Not denying that.
I did see The Inventor. I love stop motion. It's my favorite style of animation. There's something tactile and human about it that I love. And she was not a standout. She's just in it.
Is that a feature film, by the way? Or is
yes.
Okay.
Yes. I went to the premiere.
Well, okay. Suns and Shadows. Here's a thought for Hollywood studios. Stop announcing release dates before you have a finished script and have started shooting.
Well, it's been talked about a lot how many Star Wars projects were announced and didn't happen. So, it is what it is. Okay, we have an interview to do today. We have a very exciting topic, and we have Giles Alderson. I don't know, is someone else joining, or is it just Giles? I see him in the green room.
Yeah.
Is anyone else joining?
Giles, is someone joining you?
Yes, no, nod your head in the private chat.
Oh, one more.
5 minutes? No,
okay.
He's not joining. Okay. Let's get started here. Let's get started. Wait.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
I think he's gonna. I guess someone is joining, and he's gonna wait and then come on when they're.
Well, I like when people are on time.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
So Daisy Ridley.
I like when people show up on time.
But
Hey, like, share, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications. Sign up as a member. Join us on X, Rumble, Discord, Rumble, and Instagram.
Oh,
buy our
okay.
merch.
Okay, so it's Dan and Giles. Dan is wrapping up another interview, and they will be right back.
All right.
All right.
We're going to kill time by talking about something related. I have a theory. I think Kathleen Kennedy is getting ready to retire. Why? Because I talked about this. She's looking for a win. What do they do when your career is over in Hollywood? What do they do, Alan? What do they do?
Yeah, they award you with Lifetime Achievement Awards for all the work you've done.
That's right. They give you awards, and the very prestigious American Society of Cinematographers, the ASC.com. This is from the ASC.com. They are giving an award, Kathleen Kennedy, an industry force. The ASC honors the renowned filmmaker with its Board of Governors Award by Jay Holben. The ASC Awards will be presented. Actually, it's coming up very soon. That was yesterday. Yesterday?
The 23rd. So
23rd. Okay, yeah, 2 days. Dude, I saw so many movies this week. It's crazy. She is getting a Lifetime Achievement Award. Here's some pictures of her with great filmmakers. Here's Lucas. Here's from E.T. Here she is with E.T.
Aww.
A young Kathleen Kennedy. So I think this is the lead up to her finally retiring. She's getting all these awards. So, Alan, what are your thoughts on this? This is just one. What do you think? Is it going to happen soon?
Have we scooped Mike Zero?
No.
It certainly feels that way. Like I said, I'm surprised the John Williams documentary didn't do as well or get the notoriety it did. Frank Marshall is producing some amazing documentaries on Disney Plus. It just seems like, we're ramping up to the end here. Still could be wishful thinking, but I don't know. I mean, I know Kathleen Kennedy more as a producer, not as a cinematographer. That's the one that confounds me. But
that's
I think
what's weird. The ASC,
yeah.
but they do give awards to people that are legends in the business.
Mm-hmm.
When you look at the films she's associated with, you have to give her props for that. I wonder, we've seen what she's done with the Star Wars brand. She has run it into the ground. It is unsalvageable at this moment. And let me tell you this, Gen Z don't care about Star Wars. They care about Marvel somewhat. Marvel is still in the mix of things that are, but Star Wars is literally, no one cares except old guys like you and I that saw it in first run when we were kids. It still means something to us, but how they've handled the brand, she has been a terrible steward to Star Wars. He has laden it with just the worst of the kind of luxury, wokeness, and tried to make it appeal to females, and in so doing has destroyed it. She has destroyed Star Wars.
Yeah.
Give her these awards, send her on her way.
You know what her biggest crime is? With A Force Awakens, she had so much momentum from Star Wars fans going into that movie, and she squandered it. There's a reason Force Awakens made billions of dollars, and it's because of that. Because people were going to see it no matter what you threw up on the screen. And to see where Star Wars is today, and the loss of that momentum and the loss of that goodwill, just should tell you alone what she's done with Lucasfilm.
Yeah, it's really disheartening, and I hope that this award from the ASC is a sign that it's time to retire. Let's go to comments here.
All right. Davina Duckworth, when you do nothing but take credit for everything, that's some prime blackmail material KK has. Lord Comment for 2, the woman is a man hater like Daisy Ridley, in my opinion.
I would agree.
Yeah. The Lord Far Away, a
nerd far away.
A nerd far away. She's a legendary jerk.
Oh, I have stories that I will share when the news comes down. Okay. It's time to pivot. So here we go. Let's see here. We have to reset. And here we go. Hey, food is in the news. Health is important. And there are so many really amazing documentaries about our food system and how it affects things. And we have the co-directors of Food for Thought here to talk to us about their documentary. Let's talk to them now. Hey, Dan Richardson, Giles Alderson. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Thanks for making it. How's it going?
Very good. Thanks, Chris. Very good. Thanks, Alan. Lovely to meet you both. Love what you do.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you guys. Tell us about, there have been some amazing documentaries lately. Food Inc. We've seen a lot of food documentaries on Netflix, among other places. There's a new food doc every time I turn around. I love them. I think our food industrial complex is being exposed. The health of our kids in America is something people care about. I think it played a part in this recent election. Tell us about your documentary. And I really like to share the trailer with our audience. But tell us about the doc.
We have created what we like to think is and by the way, thanks for having us. It's lovely to meet you guys.
Appreciate it.
We've created Food for Thought in a way that we felt needed to be done. We needed to create something unique, relatable, turned out humorous. And the key thing for us was the relatability, simply because it's so easy to talk about the division between us, and you could do it in any walk of life, right? And it can be politics, which is very topical right now, and it could be food choices. And it's way too easy in this world to just stick your stake in the ground, no pun intended, vegan stake in our case, but to stick your stake in the ground and say, this is where we stand, and to vilify or to judge or to preach or to just basically say, if you're not doing this, you're wrong. And for us, it was so important to fill a gap which we felt existed in the genre, and to just say, from the word go, when the film starts, the way we open the film is designed literally to make people think, oh, I'm allowed to enjoy this. I'm allowed to just relax and chill out. These guys they're not going to vilify and judge me. So that's kind of where the basis of Food for Thought.
Let's take a look at the trailer. I have it queued up here, and then we're going to go to comments and questions from our audience. 1,500 people watching live right now. Let's take a look at the trailer for Food for Thought. Here we go.
This will probably go down in history. No? Here's a bit of food for thought. Is this really just a revolution? Or something much, much bigger?
There is a consciousness shift. There is a shift in mentality.
We would just have a group of people try the vegan diet for a 30-day period and let us know how it was.
I am diabetic, so I'm very interested to see what the vegan diet will do to that.
The energy is going to go right up the roof.
I rather like meat a lot.
Resources get wasted, or meat production is just mind-blowing.
Only a real solution for the future is reducing our meat consumption and, if possible, eliminate it completely.
We can turn this around in a way which stops the biggest cause of animal cruelty on the planet.
You know that we wanted to rescue an animal in the documentary.
Have you got one?
I've got two, mate.
Say yes. We'll make it happen.
We're going to get them.
When?
Tomorrow morning.
Yeah, we're going to the Good Heart Animal Sanctuary. What would the world look like if everyone did go vegan?
January this year, I was cleared completely. I believe that is lifestyle choice.
It's an idea that people want to work. They want to be able to consume burgers, hot dogs, sausage, but they'd love to do it without all of these issues, right?
And it means that these guys don't have to be killed for it.
Do you want to survive or do you want to thrive? And you can have it all.
How old are you now, Roy?
86.
How's your health?
Never been better.
I used to make money. Now I lose it efficiently in the nonprofit world, trying to make the world a better place.
They started to see, oh, he's not dying.
So
it's like a well-oiled engine.
There we go. Is the film released? Is it out now? Where can people get it?
It's going to be released next Friday for the 28th of February. So yes, a week to go yet.
On YouTube.
Yeah, it'll be released on YouTube all around the world. That was our plan with this film when we set out to make it, was to make something that we can put out there for free for everyone to see. Because of the topic, the topic of it, because it means something to us and we want to try and make a difference. And we didn't necessarily want to put that behind a paywall or go through the whole distribution process, which I've been through many times before, and the lawyers' fees, the drama behind that. And we were like, why are we doing this? Not everyone can see it. And then you only get comments from people in different countries going, when can I see it? Why isn't it in this territory? Why isn't it here?
Right.
So me and Dan always set out to make something that people could see and watch. And yeah, it's because we did a crowdfunder, so that therefore we had no big investors breathing down our necks. And what we wanted to do, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, it meant we had license to do it right rather than do it quick. And then, as per Giles's point, just the whole ethos of the film is to make it relatable and accessible, and then to stick it behind a paywall or to say, oh, you can only watch it if you have Netflix or if you've got this streaming platform or if you pay this much money, would just kind of go against the grain. So yeah, it's there for everyone to see, unless you're in North Korea or China where YouTube's not allowed, or Iran. Presumably don't have many viewers.
Let's go to comments from our people watching live. Solomon Thornton says this looks interesting.
Oh, hey, it's take interesting.
Hey, it's me and HG. Finally, a documentary that gets back to the style of what made them must-watches. I will definitely be checking this out ASAP. And all twisted up. Will there be any sort of printed campaign as a guide for those who would like to make personal changes referenced in the film? Thanks.
It's a great question. Thank you very much as well for the love. Yes, there will be on our website, which is foodforthought.com. We are going to have, it's kind of live now, but we're about to launch it properly in the next week, obviously. And on there will be guides of what to eat, what to help you eat, what really does go into getting the vegan lifestyle and the vegan diet, so that you aren't just eating processed foods and you're actually eating food that is, better for you in terms of processed sometimes.
Yeah, I tried to go there, foodforthought.com. It's not live yet.
Doc.com. There's doc at the end,
okay.
like documentary. Yeah.
Right. Got it. Okay.
I have to ask you a question though. Veganism is a I feel like it's an uphill climb in terms of
go on.
Look, I'm not vegan. I like meat. But it's a hard sell. What were kind of the thoughts when you were creating the documentary for people like me?
That's exactly it. That's one of the reasons why we wanted to make this documentary, because someone like you wouldn't go, oh, I must go watch Earthlings, or you might not even watch Game Changers, because there might be something in there that would be animals being tortured or it's graphic footage. We wanted to make a documentary where it's two filmmakers just going out there and being themselves and following that journey. And that to us was the most important thing, to speak to people like yourself to go, all right, I will look at that. And maybe at the end of it, you'll go, all right, maybe I will do meatless Mondays. Maybe I will just not have dairy today. And that to us means everything. So yes, as much as it is a hard sell for someone like yourself, who's probably eaten meat your whole life, being conditioned to do it without any choice of your own, you just got fed that when you were a baby. Perhaps that is something you might watch and go, are. And that's what me and Dan wanted to set out. Well, that's what we set out to make, is something that might just make you think about it. Hence why it's called Food for Thought.
And I got the website up, foodforthoughtdoc.com. The link will be in the description for this episode here. More comments and questions from our audience. Let's go to them here. Love the first song choice. Got the chills instantly. Great trailer, says John Harrison. And
Thanks, John.
The Nerd Far Away says, hail Mr. Richardson and Mr. Anderson. Do you think we find middle ground somewhere in all this?
It's what a great question. I mean, I think what we like to think of Food for Thought as middle ground, and when I say that, I acknowledge the fact that it, of course, comes from a place of us wanting for people to think about veganism, reducing their meat consumption, whatever steps they might take. There's lots of it out there already, like Veganuary, like Meatless Monday. All those things make a big difference, and I guess the ethos behind Food for Thought was really just as we're kind of trying to impart that it's embracing everyone. It's inclusive is the word I'm looking for. It's not saying if you don't do this, you're wrong. It's important that we don't do that, because human nature is such that everyone who we say, I'd be the same, by the way. If someone said to me, the way you're living is wrong, you need to change, my instinct reaction would be, don't tell me what to do. You don't get to tell me what to do. So we'd like to think that Food for Thought offers a bit of a middle ground. Watch what happens when I say that, and the vegan community will be like, well, you've got to be a bit stronger, you've got to be a bit harsher. So and that by that happening, I'll know that we've kind of achieved that middle ground, because it's, as I say, we're trying to avoid the division, we're trying to avoid the them and us mentality, which doesn't really help anything. At the same time, we're trying to avoid just yelling into the echo chamber of people who already agree with us, who, if nothing's changed, right? If they carry on as they were, because they already agree with us, we've achieved nothing. But if we, just from this conversation, from the trailer, from the film itself, if someone thinks, all right, you know what, maybe I'll just go Meatless Monday, maybe I'll do Veganuary next year, maybe I'll go vegan completely, we've made a difference, and so have you. And we have a guy, but the best way I can describe that is we have a guy in the film called Mate Remats. He's the founder of Remats Automobile, which is the fastest electric production road car on earth. Now it's owned by Bugatti. It wasn't at the time we interviewed him, but he's literally sold his organization to Bugatti. He's like the Croatian Elon Musk, but better. He, in the film, says a soundbite, which I think is the most powerful thing. So consider this is a chap whose business, his livelihood, depends on him making and selling electric cars. And we literally have him saying, you can make a bigger impact just by changing a dietary choice. Just eat less meat, not more, not cut it out completely, less meat. And he's right. It's just a fact. So we hope is sort of a middle ground view to it, because no one's pushing you to end it completely. But if you can reduce it just one day a week, if everyone did that, that's 1 billion people. If there were 7 billion of us on the planet, which actually there's more, one day of a week, everyone doing Meatless Monday, that's 1 billion vegans overnight.
Well, I am a meat eater myself, but I've reduced my consumption by not going to McDonald's. It's too expensive. It's too expensive. And it's not, the quality is not great. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if I don't know how much meat there is in the burgers that you're saying. Anyway,
isn't it like some weird pink like sludge they turn into meat? It's
it is. Weird. Well, it's the offcuts. It's the stuff that they don't put into your burgers and your bacon. So it's the stuff of the arseholes and the eyes and the noses. That's the stuff that the offcut, the sludge. Again, don't quote me on this. Don't sue me, anyone. But this is what we're told is the stuff that then goes into these patties. I mean,
well,
we've seen it in the videos.
I saw that Super Size Me doc by Morgan.
Yeah,
Spurlock.
there you go.
I think that had a profound impact. More questions and comments here. Lord Comment for 2. Your movie is great. Beats anything with Daisy Ridley.
There we go. Come on.
That's not a fair comparison.
It's not, but Daisy actually turned up to my first ever short film screening that I had at BAFTA. Daisy, before she was famous, anything, she was there. So I met her years before she did Star Wars. And I saw the Cleaner, by the way, the other day, and I thought she was great in it. I loved it. It was really fun.
You know what? I like Daisy Ridley. I'm not sure about. I like Daisy Ridley. So we'll leave it there.
Let's leave it there. Let's move on.
Ridely's 24.
podcast.
How do they plan on approaching the topic of veganism different than other similar theme documentaries in the past? How is this different than other vegan documentaries?
Neil, you.
We're nodding at each other. You go.
You can pick a documentary, okay? So like we can look at all the way across the spectrum. You can look at Earthlings or Dominion or Land of Hope and Glory, which are the films that if anyone's seen, they'll never forget in terms of graphic footage. It's literally just taking you behind the scenes of the reality, which, you know, people can joke about, be kind of lighthearted about. You know, I'm sure there's comments, people saying, I'm going to have 2 burgers tonight just to celebrate this, whatever, you know, that kind of stuff. When you see the reality of things like Earthlings, which is narrated, by the way, by Joaquin Phoenix, there's that kind of thing. At the other end of the spectrum, I suppose you could say there's things like The Game Changers, directed by Louis Savoyas. He's the Oscar-winning director of The Cove. He created The Game Changers to show it from the perspective of you don't just get to survive on a vegan diet, you get to thrive, because he covers Novak Djokovic, the Grand Slam winning tennis champion, Lewis Hamilton, the F1 7 times world champion. I think he is the world's strongest man, numerous Olympians, athletes, people who literally thrive and win on a vegan diet. So there's all these things that exist and lots of different things in between that. And we really felt like we wanted to create something that fills a gap that exists. And I have to be honest and say that aside from the real focus initially being relatability, that whole middle ground that was just referred to in a previous question, that was our number one priority. And then by virtue of that, as we filmed it and as we started to edit it and put it all together, we realized actually one of the things that makes it relatable is that Giles and I became a part of the film, as per you saw in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was trying to just inject a sense of a little bit of lightheartedness, a little bit of humor, and all of it designed to give you guys watching it who don't want to go vegan, who don't think you even want to watch the film, right from the outset. It's not that we need to give you permission, but it's saying you're allowed to relax and enjoy this, because it's not going to be, you're not going to be preached at, you're not going to be judged, and you're not. So that's the way we approached it from the start, and it's kind of evolved into what Food for Thought is today, which we do think is unique in the genre.
And final question before we let you go here. Ridely's 24 says, is there a future where you see the consumption of animal meats being replaced by technical advancements in the lab-grown meat?
Yeah, I think it's already happening. I mean, you look at Beyond Meat, which we talk about in the documentary, and it's when I first went vegan, I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to eat this. It feels too much like an animal. It feels lab-grown meat. But once I've really thought about it, it actually isn't hurting an animal. And you as a meat eater won't know any difference at all. All that's happened is you haven't killed anyone or an animal in the process. So for me, yeah, absolutely, I could totally see a world where that happens. To be honest, it kind of has to. We can't survive the way we're going. You know, it's just impossible. It's just getting to the end already of what we're spending. And because we feed the animals, the livestock, so much food and produce that could feed the world over 3 times over across the world, you kind of go, right, maybe we should do something about this, because there is a lot of starvation, there is a lot of problems. Well, why don't we just cut it out a little bit, and that can make a difference? So yeah, it's important for us as filmmakers. We wanted to make something that way. It's important. Well,
congratulations on the doc, Food for Thought. Go to foodforthoughtdoc.com where you can see the movie. Dan, Giles, thank you so much for joining us, and congrats on the film.
Thank you very much,
guys.
All right, take care.
You too.
Bye.
Sorry. Oh, yeah, I know.
So yeah. All right. Well, there we go. Wrapping up. Carnell is here. A lot of misconceptions.
Yeah, you want me to read it, or what are you doing?
I'm trying to wrap up the show.
I know. Did you want me to read
got
that?
Shit to do today.
All right,
fuck?
Carnell for 10. A lot of misconceptions are made about veganism. It's a position against the exploitation and cruelty toward animals. Veganism is a lifestyle seeking to reduce animal harm as practical as possible. Yeah. And then Lord Comment for 2. Oh, I wish we could have asked the guest this. Veganism is a way of life. So is being a vegetarian.
Well, the comment was there and then it went away. I don't know what's going on.
I wasn't going to ask it. filmmakers that question. Carmel, member for 3 months. Who do you think has gotten more hate from their Star Wars roles, Daisy Ridley or Jar Jar Binks actor?
Jar Jar Binks. Ahmed Best did not deserve what happened to him. I think Ahmed Best is a great performer. I think the problem with that role was too much screen time. Seriously.
Yeah.
Too much screen time. If you go back, Jar Jar is not the big problem with that movie. One, it's the voice they chose for Jar Jar was Barney the dinosaur. They should have had a different voice, a different choice of a voice for Jar Jar and reduced his screen time.
Yeah.
And Jar Jar, I think, is beloved, but he got way more hate. I don't think Daisy Ridley's getting a lot of hate, but Jar Jar did, and it's too bad for Ahmed Best.
Yeah. I mean, unfortunately, it's the characters we're talking about. It's not the actors we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, the weirdest thing was Jar Jar having a different voice than the other Gungans in the movie. And it just seemed odd to me that's the one they chose for Jar Jar.
The choice of the voice. And apparently on set, everyone loved Ahmed Best was so funny that he kind of took over the movie.
Yeah.
If you reduce the screen time of Jar Jar, every Star Wars movie has a cute, weird, likable character. C-3PO, R2-D2, they've got cute, likable character for comic relief.
And he's practically removed from the other 2 movies.
Yeah. So they shouldn't have removed him, just reduce the screen time, and he's likable. So there you go. Thank you, Carnell. Always appreciate your thoughtful comments. Sean Hu for 742. If you're concerned about cruelty, you can look for the certified humane label. I will still be a meat eater.
It's a complex subject because there are things I don't agree with the corporatization of our food.
That's that is my main beef is the corporatization of food production. So there you go. We're gonna leave it there. Thanks to our mod, Lord Thoth. Thanks to Atomic Lori. Thank you to you, our audience. Our Oscar watch party is a week from Sunday. Versus is back on Monday. Join us for Versus. And we have very special shows next week. So there you go. Yes, I have a beef with Food Inc. The corporatization of food.
Yeah. Okay. Yes.
Yeah. So Alan, what do you got going on this weekend?
I'll be at the National Comedy Theater tomorrow, 7:30, for some improv comedy. So if you happen to be in San Diego, come look us up.
Yes.
NationalComedy.com.
And also, we are covering the Slam Dance Film Festival, which happens starting today in Los Angeles. We are seeing movies, and I have seen my favorite documentary this year so far. We will talk about it next week. Stolen Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
Is amazing. We will discuss it next week. It is incredible. It's a documentary about stealing things from Disneyland that will blow your mind. We'll talk about it next week. Take care. Have a great weekend, everyone. Go see a movie. I think we recommended. There's a couple of things worth seeing, everyone. So go check that out. Alan, you're seeing Slam Dance movies.
Yes, I am. I'm hoping to go on Sunday down to Hollywood to be there in person.
All right, that sounds great. Have a great weekend, everyone. I need more coffee. I need more coffee.
Yeah, it sounds that way.
All right, Alan.
Let's get out of here.